The bullpen is supposed to close out games. Instead, they're filling up the IL. And they added another one today. And we're going to talk about that right here on the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast, starting right now.
You are Locked On Diamondbacks, your daily Arizona Diamondbacks podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, everybody, hello and welcome to the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast, your team every day. Baseball is my religion. The Diamondbacks are my denomination, and you, ladies and gentlemen, are my congregation. So settle down in your pew of choice and enjoy the message of today. I do have another weekly podcast that I do called The Sports Truth. It's live every Tuesday night with my co-host Cheese. We are collectively the 643 and Out guys, and you can find us on both X and YouTube at the 643 and Out Pod. Again, that's at the 643 and Out Pod on both X and YouTube. By listening now, you are a certified member of the Locked On Podcast Network, which, by the way, is completely free on all podcast platforms. Don't put those two words together. They don't come out great. You can also be part of the show by joining us on YouTube and simply search Locked On Diamondbacks and leave your comments and your criticisms. I have a passion for this game and for this team. And if you are listening, I'm sure you have that same passion. So whether you're a first time or a long time, I thank you for making Locked On Diamondbacks your first listen of the day. On today's show, we look at the woes of the bullpen and the pitching in general. Then we'll answer the question, what happened to the chaos? And we will look at how to possibly get it back. Then finally, in segment number 3, we will build on the theme of chaos, and then we'll specifically look at the batting order and how the construction of that can lead to said chaos and hopefully lead to more victories. But first, this episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money and use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50%. Yes, that's right, 50% off of your first year. Let's jump into segment number 1. Our Diamondbacks have just not been able to avoid the injury bug this season, especially from the guys on the mound. And for those of you, especially the old school guys, and I'm there with you, I'm an old school guy too, right? For those of you who are saying that injuries happen to every team, I agree with you. They do, but not usually to the extent that it does and it has with the Diamondbacks of this season. The Diamondbacks are in third place in a category no one wants to be, which is the number of players on the injured list. The only National League teams ahead of them are the Dodgers with 14 players on the IL, and the Mets, they have 13 players on the IL. The Diamondbacks come in next with 12 players on the IL. Now, of those players, 9 of them are pitchers. 9, yes, 9, hear me here, of the 12 are pitchers. So today, the Diamondbacks transferred the 9th one onto the 60-day IL. And that, if you haven't heard yet, was Kevin Ginkel. He joins right-handed pitcher Ryan Thompson, and Thompson's been out since July 15th. But he did recently begin a throwing program, so we'll cross our fingers, and hopefully we'll get Mr. Thompson back here before too much longer. Left-handed pitcher Tommy Henry has been out since July the 6th. He is having Tommy John surgery, so he won't be back anytime soon. Right-handed pitcher Justin Martinez also had to have Tommy John surgery, and he has been out since June the 10th. Then you've got left-handed pitcher A.J. Puck. Remember, he was supposed to be, and he was anointed the closer, sorta, by Torey Lovullo, who played that, I'm not sure who the closer is really going to be game when we all knew it was going to be A.J. Puck. But then he has been out since April 19th, and he had to have the internal brace surgery. And we're only about halfway through this list, by the way. Right-handed pitcher Christian Montas de Oca, he had back surgery on June the 9th, and he is out for the remainder of the season. Right-handed pitcher Corbin Burns, of course, most of us know, their big acquisition in the offseason. He had Tommy John. He was retroactive back to June 3rd. So listen at these dates so far. We've still got 2 more pitchers to go. July 15th, July 6th, out since June 10th, out since April 19th, out since June 9th, and now June 3rd. Christian Mena, the right-handed pitcher, has a strained trace muscle, or trace major muscle. And you've got left-handed pitcher Blake Walston, who also had to have Tommy John surgery and has been out since March the 23rd. If you take a look at all of this, you've got a high-priced starter and basically a complete bullpen on the IL. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, is it the organizational philosophy? Is it, freak accidents that have just been happening to these guys? Are they doing maybe too many innings too fast? I mean, I don't know. I wish I did, because I'd probably get paid a whole lot of money to be able to go into the Arizona Diamondbacks system and fix all these pitchers that are off on the IL right now. You had your closer of the present and the future. I mean, you've got AJ on there. You've got Martinez on there. These aren't like they're just small guys that had just a one inning role in the bullpen, or they had a specialized role in the bullpen. No, this is Thompson, Martinez, Puck, Walston, and even guys that we brought up after that, like Mena and Christian Montas de Oca, they went on the IL too. So the main guys went on the IL, and then the reinforcements that we brought up went on the IL. Even Thompson, who was big for this team the last couple of seasons, and guys who figured to have prominent roles in this bullpen that once upon a time looked like a strong group, has been turned to bandages and stitches and rehab assignments. I mean, think about what's happened to this team just with those 9 players, just the pitchers that were on the mound. My allergies are killing me right at the moment. I'm over here blinking like crazy trying to get all this put together. So, my big takeaway from this is pretty simple, because honestly, none of us like to blame injuries, but some teams only have 3, 4, or 5 players on their current roster whom are injured. And I'll give you 2 examples right now: the Phillies and the Cubs. And what are they? Right there in the playoff hunt. The Brewers are there as well. All 3 of those National League teams either have 3, 4, or 5 players currently on the IL. So luck does play a part in Major League Baseball. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But it's still luck, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Don't get me wrong. Does skill play a part in this? Absolutely it does. But so does luck. And it just looks like, man, the Diamondbacks just don't have any of it this year. They can't catch a break. Well, they've caught a few breaks, but not the ones they want. Next segment. Let's set this up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Where did the chaos go? Can we get it back? And what do we have to do to take advantage of it if we do get it back? We'll answer all of those in segment number 2 after we give you this great promo from Gameday Hue. Now, today's episode is brought to you by Gameday Hue. Gameday Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colors for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. I like the gear from Gameday because it pairs perfectly with my usual gear. I mean, it doesn't replace my team stuff. I love my team, obviously. But it, in fact, just the opposite of that. It actually enhances what I've already got. And right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at their easy-to-use website. That's GamedayHue.com. And it stacks on bundles, so you can have more savings when you bundle stuff together. The 15% code goes on all of it. So let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GamedayHue.com. One more time, GamedayHue.com. Just so we get all that put together here, it is really hard for me to see. My eyes are just killing me right now. So there's the Gameday Hue, right? Use code MLB, 50% off at GamedayHue.com. I apologize, I didn't put the piece on there. Huh. Can you see it? Man, I look like I'm crying. I'm really not. Trust me, I'm really not. But we are going to get into segment number 2. We really are going to do that here. So let's do that. Segment number 2, as we promised. Now, before we get into segment 2, I want you to understand YouTube is a great tool for you to get everything you need about your Arizona Diamondbacks. But in order to do that, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and never miss a video so you are never not informed. I'm also very active on X. I do posts and reposts. We'll do some poll questions, and we'll do a lot more stuff. And you can get me on X at LO_Diamondbacks. So YouTube, X, and all kinds of other social medias, you and I together, we can make sure that we are always on top of our team. So let's answer this. Where has the chaos gone? We inserted the long ball and we forgot about the speed. Now, I'm not sure why we did that necessarily. I mean, chicks might dig the long ball, but personally, I like wins. I don't like to watch the team that sits around an entire game waiting for a 5-run grand slam. I know, I said 5-run grand slam. I know, calm down. You can put it in the comments, but I meant to do it. It's what I mean, though, right? Like they have to wait for the grand slam to get them where they need to be. Those things can take forever. And all power makes a team boring and one-dimensional. Give me speed. Give me excitement. Give me the chaos. This year, we have 76 total stolen bases in 114 games. Only 2 people on this entire team have double-digit steals this year. Perdomo has 17, and Corbin Carroll has 14. And ironically enough, the guy in third place on this team with 11, well, he's in Seattle now, Josh Naylor. And I don't know if you've been paying attention to him. I have. In 11 games with the Mariners, Josh has stolen 8 bases. Want me to get a little more ironic for you? 8 is more than Alec Thomas and Ketel Marte put together for this entire season. Between the two of them, they only have 7. 7. 7 for the entire season. What has happened to this team? I don't understand it. The Diamondbacks can steal more bases than this, right? I mean, last year they won 89 games and they stole 119 bases. In 2023, when they went on their magical run, they only won 84 games, but the big difference? Right now, 76. Last year, 119. The year they went on their big run, 166 as far as stolen bases go. Corbin Carroll and Jake McCarthy had a combined 81 stolen bases in the year 2023. And our entire Diamondbacks team, 3/4 of the way through this year, doesn't have 81. Again, they've got 76. There's been no significant injuries since then. Where did the fun-loving, jump out of your seat, putting the other team on their heels chaos go? I want it back. And one of the ways we can do that is by how we stack the lineup. And that is what we're going to talk about next in segment number 3. What's my takeaway from this? Top Gun instead of Star Wars fighter pilot. And if you're scratching your head going, what? Yeah, I want Top Gun. I don't want Star Wars fighter pilot. I'm referring to the bobblehead that's coming out on Saturday, the Corbin Carroll Star Wars fighter pilot. You can keep that. Give me Top Gun. Because this Diamondback team, I feel the need for speed. And in our third and final segment, we talk about how we organize the lineup to do just that. Numbers 1 through 9. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to that third segment, let's talk to you a moment about Monarch Money. Have you ever wished that managing your money felt easier? Oh, I wish it all the time. But with Monarch Money, it can. Monarch puts you in the driver's seat without a doubt. Gives you your own personal CFO. It gives you full flexibility and control over all of your finances. Now, Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. Now, I don't want you to think of it as that. It gives you a whole lot more. You have a command center, right? That's the big thing that you have is a command center. You can track your accounts, your investments, and your spending all in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you can build wealth. And who doesn't want to build wealth? I want to build wealth. I know you do too. So it's a one-stop shop. Everything in one app. That's what I really like about it. And I don't like going from this app to get that and that app to get this over here and slide this down and calculate all of this. No, give me everything in one app. And that is the big thing, at least for me personally, that Monarch Money does. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money and use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year. That's right. Just simply go to monarchmoney.com, plug in the code. I'll give it to you one more time. That code is LOCKEDONMLB. And you get 50% off your first year at Monarch Money. All right, guys, let's jump into episode number 3. That'll be the third and final episode of today. I know, you're sad. I'm sad too. Man, if I could just keep going and going and going, I would, but we won't do that today. So when we're done here, if you want to listen to something else, feel free. Maybe you want a broader look at the game of baseball. If so, check out Locked On MLB Game Night. They watch every game, so you don't have to. And you just don't have to watch us on YouTube, although that's the preferred choice because, You get to see me. But you can go in the car while you're grilling, while you're mowing outside, with all kinds of different audio platforms that we offer as well. And once again, just like YouTube, they're all free. Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and anything else you can think of under the sun, including my personal favorite, XM satellite radio. I love XM satellite radio. It's where I discovered Locked On, not just Locked On Diamondbacks, but Locked On everything else that we've got. Explore it. We've got a ton of stuff, and I think you'll like everything that we've got out there for you. You, the fantastic sports fan. Remember talking yesterday about the scoring in the first inning? Immediately putting pressure on the opposition. You can't do that with this current lineup. So first, before we go through and place people in certain spots, all right, let me give you my opinion on the places or the positions within a lineup. So your leadoff batter should be your second fastest runner and a guy who can take pitches and make contact. Now, why did you say the second fastest runner? I've always thought the leadoff guy should be the quickest guy in the field. I don't necessarily agree with that, and here's why. I believe your number 2 hitter should be your fastest runner so that it keeps you out of the double play. Your third place hitter should be your best overall hitter. Your power guy should bat 4th. And believe it or not, in my opinion, number 5 is your slowest guy. You should never have 2 of your worst hitters going back to back either. You should split them up. I don't like it when we do 2 of our bad hitters at the bottom part of the lineup. It feels like you're just giving away outs. Obviously, if you want to win a game, and especially if you want to create chaos, the last thing you want to do is give away outs. So 7th and 8th are your contact above anything else guys. And your number 9 batter, again, in my opinion, should have a specific skill. Your 9 batter should be your best bunter. Now, I know a lot of you don't believe in bunts. It's like, oh, you just said we shouldn't be giving up outs. Come on. You know what I'm talking about here. Bunting for a base hit. Bunting the guys over. Get them on, get them over, get them in. I'm not expecting you to give me, 7 runs an inning. Shoot, I'd be happy with 5 runs a game at this point with this team, the way they've been playing the last 3 weeks. I just want to be able to give me 1 run an inning and know that that's probably not going to happen either. But I'd at least like to set myself up within the lineup to where I think we got a shot at that. So here we go. Based on all of those things, those positions and the places in the actual batting order, let me give you what I would like to see the Diamondbacks do with the batting order from here forward, with one exception that we'll get to in a second. So based on all of those facts, McCarthy leads off every day and plays left field. I still have a lot of trust in him. I think he can turn this season around. And if you put him at the top of the lineup and give him an assignment, get on base, buddy. And I think he can pull through for you. And I'd like to see if he can for the rest of the season. Let's see what we got in Mr. McCarthy and decide if we want to keep him in our outfield or if we want to talk about maybe trading him. Let's see what we got. So McCarthy leads off for me and plays left. Corbin Carroll, the fastest guy on the field, hits number 2 for me and plays right. The best hitter, Ketel Marte. He will follow that and he will play second. Gurriel will not play the field. He is the worst outfielder that we have on this team. He's one of the oldest players on the team, and I think we should give him a rest and put him as the DH and let him bat 4. Not a big power guy, I know, but honestly, he's the best we got right now. He's proven that yesterday if you didn't get to see the game. Go back and watch and listen to the spot from yesterday. Locklear then would hit 5th, and he would man first base. Then the catcher is McCann. followed by Thomas in center, Alexander at third, and Perdomo at short. So that's where I would be at. McCarthy, Carroll, Marte, Gurriel, Locklear, McCann, Thomas, Alexander, Perdomo. And that's also kind of the way I look at it, how we break things up into the three. Now, here's the exception. When Gabby Moreno comes back, and man, have the Diamondbacks missed him, you put Locklear between him and Lourdes so that he'll see more pitches and better pitches. So 5, 6, 7 probably goes Moreno, Locklear, and Lourdes once he gets back. Lengthens the lineup, and I really like what that does to the lineup. And again, man, I know Corbin Burns was a big get for us, and I know some of these other guys we're really missing. But in my opinion, the guy who does the best damage at the right spot is Gabriel Moreno. When he gets closer to coming back, we'll take a big, deep dive into him. So we got a lot of things in this episode to chew on, a lot of talking points from each one of you as well. I gave a lot of my opinions in this episode, so I want yours back. Fill up the comment section and let's get a great baseball conversation going for real fans, by real fans, Diamondback fans. This will wrap up today's show. Thanks for always making us your #1 listen every day. Tell a friend. Share this episode of the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast on your own personal social media accounts. And be sure to follow me on X at LO_Diamondbacks for more great content. What can you look forward to tomorrow? I'm glad you asked, because on tomorrow's show, we will focus mostly on Mr. Zach Gallen. It's Thursday. It'll be a day off for everybody, and then Zach will start on Friday. So I want to dive into Zach Gallen. Ask a few questions. Here they are. What do you expect from him for the rest of the year? Why is he still here? And was that a mistake by the Arizona Diamondbacks? Then, based on those results, what should the Diamondbacks do with Zach Gallen this offseason? A lot of different things to look at, a lot of different things to debate, just like we did today. And for your next listen, check out Locked On MLB, as Sully will do the same thing, giving you a daily dose at the biggest stories in Major League Baseball. Thank you for being with us right here on the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, tune in so you can stay locked on.